So continuing on with our packages discussion. Now you may have actually noticed, we talked about this briefly, the fact that the way the Aut class has been imported at the top of the window is like so. So the line import.jar.aut, I mentioned before that I'll tell you what that does. The star means to import all the classes, interfaces and static objects from the java.aut class, AWT class. So you can do that, or we could have actually done something similar, which is we could have actually copied the relevant ones we wanted and done it manually. So in other words, we could have actually deleted that line there. We could have pasted in these references, but notice when I do that, when I actually paste them in, IntelliJ is actually changing this and making it a star anyway. But the point is we could have actually specified and done something similar to what we've done there. We could have done import java.aut say frame, for example, which is one of the ones we actually used, and done them all manually. But by doing the star, that's the equivalent of actually saying, give me access to everything that's in that particular class. Now, another thing you might be asking is, well, okay, we've done the star there. Why do we also need to do these? Because if we actually remove these, actually get rid of them temporarily, we actually get IntelliJ coming up actually saying, well, hang on, wherever they're gone, I need them. I paste them back, they'll actually go. At first glance, you think that the import above would actually be doing everything, but it's not actually the case. There's actually two different packages here. There's java.aut and there's java.aut.event. So java.aut.event is actually a separate package to java.aut. And that's why the star, the asterisk, the wildcard for matching all, doesn't actually bring these in here. Now, if we had to change the event and change that to a star, like so, then that would have meant that we wouldn't need to use window event because window event would automatically be found. But in that case, we don't want to do that. It was easier. And the other thing was IntelliJ automatically added those for us as we're actually adding them. Now, just to see what I'm talking about a little bit further, we can actually hover over frame, this part here, and I can hold down Control on my Mac, and I believe it's actually the control key for a PC. And you can see that the tooltip actually briefly pops up, and it's actually popping up on the screen there now. And it describes the frame class. It actually says that it extends from window and it implements menu container. The important thing is at the top, it's got the JDK, the Java version 1.8, and it actually shows you also the package where that's come from. So if we go down here into Windows Adapter, notice how that says java.aut.event. That's the package that Windows Adapter comes from, and it's got the JDK again, and it's also got some details about the class, and in this case the constructor, and how to actually call it and if there's any parameters. So this is a good way by doing that, pressing again Command on the Mac, and I believe it's Control on the PC, might be Alt, I always get confused, but it's one of those on the Windows and Linux to actually do that, and you can actually then hover over something and see some more information about the package and other information relating to that particular class. Now, the other thing you can actually do is you can come over here to where it's got external libraries, and I haven't shown you that before either. You can actually navigate to the Aut package and start expanding it out, so I'll click on that. And it shows all the various packages, and we can actually start sort of finding our way down there. You can also do this. You can actually come down here to Aut, and you can click that. And notice how that actually opened it up automatically. You can do that for most things as well. I'll actually find that for you. That's a really great shortcut to enable you to just sort of find the particular file that you're looking for. Because you might have been looking for, in here, rt.jar. You may not have been able to see the java.aut package from there. Again, so just click on that. Again, it's Control, I believe, on a PC, and in my case, it's on a Mac. I can click on there. I can go to any of these things. Well, I can't go to the source code to the get class level. The clicking to get to this left-hand side is only at package level. So I need to go back and click on Aut, for example, to get to Aut as well. And again, if we just close off event, you can see we've got font in there, and we used font within this before. Lots of information. And there's java.util. So if we close down Aut, there's actually lots of other ones in here as well. There's the util. We've actually used that before. There's some common things in there. Lots of different classes there. And it can be a great way for you to actually just click on and find out more information. Double click it will actually bring up some more information about the particular class. So again, just to clarify, the java.aut.event, as you can see when I actually click on event, the left-hand side, that's physically a different package to when I actually click on java.aut. It's physically a different package. It's sort of like a sub-package, if you will, sub-part of Aut, but they are different, and that's again why the asterisk, the star, the match all didn't actually work. So when you're actually importing classes from another package, you can actually choose to import the entire package, and notice that IntelliJ did that on line 3 with the java.aut.star, or of course, as you saw on lines 4 and 5, you can actually just specify the classes and interfaces that you actually need. So there's really no right or wrong way about this. There's lots of heated debate about the pros and cons. One thing though you should be aware of, if you are actually using something like a line 3 where you're putting a star, there's a possible impact if you've got a new class or interface is added to one of the packages you actually import. So if the other package contains a class or an interface with the same name, then your program is no longer going to compile. So you might think that's very unlikely to happen, but it does actually happen. One example was with the java.ort package. So there's actually several reasons I chose to use this package for the examples here, and this is one of them. So in Java 1.1, which I know was a very long time ago, the java.ort.package contained a list class. And this was often imported as java.ort.star. And of course, java.util package is also imported as java.util.star, and everything worked fine then. But in Java 1.2, Sun included the list interface in java.util, and of course, we've used the list interface quite a bit. So the programs importing these two packages continued to run, but because Java actually compiles the fully qualified class names in the compiled code. But the point here, and this is the big point, when one of the programs needed to be changed, it wouldn't compile anymore. And that's because the entire package has been imported at that point, the star, in other words. So Java actually had no idea which of the two packages the list they're actually referring to. Was it the list class in java.ort or the new list interface in java.util? So if it was a different programmer making changes to the program, they'd probably be cursing the original programmer for leaving code in that didn't even compile, when in fact the code had been fine when it was left. So the problem arose because of a change in a third-party library. So explicitly importing the class, the list class, in other words not using the star, would have actually avoided that problem altogether. Okay, so moving on, it's now time to actually create one of our own packages. So we're going to do that now. We're going to another new project, and we're going to do another Java one again. And again, create project from template, command line app as we've done before. And we'll call this one package demo. Package demo. And the actual package name, we're going to do com.example.mypackage. And create that project. And we'll put this window, so we close down the other window that we had open. And just as a recap, in case you're wondering what com.example is, the naming conventions with Java is that com.example and org.example are actually reserved and can be used for packages that you're never going to distribute. And this is very useful if you haven't got your own domain. So you can substitute org.example instead of com.example there. Or if you've got your own domain, as you've seen me use com.timberchalka, you can also use that as well. It doesn't really matter in this particular test. This is more down the track when you're actually packaging your own source code. So what we're going to do is open this up. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually delete the package. But before I do that, I'm going to go here into source, noting I'm actually in the source folder, and I'm going to, so what I'm going to do is create a new class. I'm going to right click that new Java class, noting that I'm actually clicked at the source level, and we're going to call that one main, so it's a new class there. And then we're going to come back here to package. I'm going to delete that. Delete the package. And that deletes the package and the subfolders. And notice how we've still got com.example in there. So now I'm going to go right click here again, right click new, come down here to package, and we can then enter it again just to show you how to go about creating a new one. com.example.mypackage again. Notice how that's now created a new package for us. And just to confirm that, we actually right click on the project name, click on new. There's no option for package. Notice, well, there's Python package because I've got the course on Python, but there's actually no option for us to actually enter a package there. We can actually do one in the source folder. We click on that and the package option actually comes up for us to actually select a new package in Java. So the other thing we can do now is we can actually move the main class. So to do that, we can just click on that and then just move it to the package name and then release the button. It actually comes up and says, do you want to move it to this folder? And you can see the folder has got the package com/example/mypackage. I click on refactor. You notice that the main class, the new one that we created, bearing in mind the old one actually got deleted when we actually deleted the package, has been moved into this package, this com.example.mypackage again. And you can see that it's actually physically now within that package. So we go back and just have a look in the browser at this code. So if I have a look at package demo, source, now this is the actual physical folder that contains this code, and there's the code there. And I can actually just hold down the button there and you can sort of see the navigation there. We've got package demo was the name of the project, the source folder, and the package is com/example/mypackage. So these are all sort of subfolders. So the package name has been added, as you can see, to the list here automatically. So that in summary, the package statement defines which package the class, in this case main, belongs to, but the directory structure has to also match the component parts of the package name. So in other words, a folder, subfolder comp, subfolder example, subfolder my package, and looking at that structure, we can see that that's mirrored exactly. Com example, and then my package of these is the subfolder. So if we actually change this and made this org.example instead of com, we'll actually get an error, and it says the package name doesn't correspond to the file path com.example.mypackage. So they have to actually match, and IntelliJ will actually enforce that. So if we just undo that change, the error then goes away. There is actually a correct way to actually rename a package. If you want to rename a package, you just come up here and actually right click it and do refactor, rename. And you can actually literally change it to whatever you want at that point. Click on refactor, and then it will actually change, taking into account that it will actually rename the actual folder. So just to show how that works, let's go ahead and change that. So we'll change that to org, refactor. Noting how that's actually changed there. It's now org.example.mypackage. Com.example was the package that was left over when we deleted my package previously, but we've now got an org.example.mypackage, which main is now in. And if we go back and have a look at the code, noticing how source example is no longer there anymore. We go up to source level, there's now an org example, my package, and there's our code again. You can see that it's now been renamed. So IntelliJ, when you go to actually use that, will actually rename that, as you can see. Now you can also specify a package name as part of the class name when you're actually creating a new class. So in the next part video, I'm actually going to create a game package and show you how to do that, and also create some classes that might be useful in an adventure game. And we'll be using some of the code from the interface challenge that we've done previously. So I'll see you in that next video.